So, that was my first round of elopement dealings. Now, there was still a couple more elopement dealings on top of that. But now, I know you can't see it. I'll show you. So, if you look right about there, yep, that's a bolt lock. This is the only door in my house that has 2 locks. One is a doorknob lock, and the other one is a bolt lock. We have a barrel bolt lock in the corner because it stops the door. The reason I can't put anything else on there is because it is not flush with the door frame. My front door, however, has 6 locks on it now. Has a chain lock, has a bolt lock, has a double-sided key lock. It has a flip handle lock. It's got a doorknob lock, and it's got an alarm lock, and then it's got an extra chain lock on it on top of it. Welcome. I have tons of shit. My garage door, the small door that goes into my garage, also has 5 locks on it, including an alarm. And I have not had the chance yet this summer, but I plan on doing it before winter. I'm putting a camera outside my front door and outside my back door. Why? Just in case this child decides to run again. Now, the last time my son eloped was last June. It was a year ago already. Why did he decide to elope? I don't know. He decided he wanted to just bounce and run. So, that was actually an incident of my mishap because I was packing a car for a trip to go to a funeral that was out of state. And in the sense of not deciding I needed to close the big garage door, my son just bounced and ran over to the neighbors. No big deal. The neighbors, all of my neighbors know who he is, who he belongs to, where he's supposed to go, that he's not verbal, no big deal. He knows the neighbors, is good with the neighbors, what have you. The time before that, however, my son ripped the trim board off of my door frame. Took the door and yanked it so hard. He was 7. Ripped the trim right off my door frame. And when the sheriff asked me that time, because someone had decided to call the cops on me, when he asked me, well, don't you have locks? I handed him the door frame. I handed him the trim board. I was like, can you count? There's a bunch of them on there. It's still clinging to this door, but I'm going to hand you the trim board. The look on that sheriff's face, priceless. So with that being said, not only that, then we have the water issue. So most children with autism, or a decent sized percentage, are elopers, but they also enjoy water. And most kids love water. They like sprinklers, they like pools. It's just part of us being a kid. These guys have an obsession with water. Some of them really enjoy water. My son is one of them. He does not like the sound of his bath being ran, but if that kid gets anywhere near that bathroom door and he sees that tub's got water, his clothes are off, he's gone. He is in that tub and he's having a damn heyday in there. He loves water. That doesn't scare me so much in the house as it did when he eloped, because any human on the face of the planet can drown in 1 inch of water. And knowing that we have creeks and things like that, and there are other people in the neighborhood with pools that do not have fencing around it, it poses a threat to my child. Now, do I run around and act like a Karen about it? No. I'm just more careful about what my child is doing, where he is, and just kind of keeping tabs on him. Not a helicopter parent. I don't see a need for that. But I'm aware of where my child's whereabouts are. Especially now. We'll get into that soon. But just be aware that if you know someone that has a child with autism, or you yourself have one, make sure you have things written down. Places they will elope to. This helps you in case the fact that you do have a child who elopes and you cannot find him. You have the main sources of the places that he has been, has gone multiple times, or keeps returning to, so you can find him faster, and so you can give things to authorities to help them find him or her. The second thing, note of where all the pools are in your little neighborhood. Why? Perfect places to look. If your child likes water, know where all those pools are. Know where there's a creek bed. Know where there's any type of water. Ponds, creeks, rivers, things like that. Because if your child likes water, chances are they're going to want to go play in it. The other thing, especially with an eloping child, is that there are programs out there. I don't necessarily know the names of the programs. Usually you can ask a state worker or a social worker or even developmental pediatricians usually will help you find the right direction, or family navigation. They are very good as well. They can help you find a place that can offer you a wristband, an ankle bracelet that has a GPS tracking device. Now, we were not allowed to use it in my case only because my son has pica, which means he would gnaw through it. Just like a beaver, like a goat. Like a goat. Yes. We'll get into pica in the next segment, I think.